Something I've always wanted to do. I didn't know about COHA until I'm from Ontario originally, and then we moved out here. It was always something, I wanted to do, retired, and I've been through a lot of things in my life, right, and I want to give it back, and I guess it was my wife who found it. We both joined the training program in the fall, and I just was so grateful for it. I loved it. I didn't want it to end. It was 4 weeks, I believe.
Well, we had such a normal life, you just never expect this to happen, We're approaching 60, we were both approaching 60 and thinking about retirement and, what our next chapter was going to look like, and it was just ripped right away from not only myself, from my daughters as well. Paul was a healthy 58-year-old man to be followed by this horrible diagnosis with cancer and be gone in literally 2 years.
With COHA, that's what being a volunteer is all about, is that you're a support for the patient, the person who's dying, and the family to walk that journey together and to allow them to have a safe place to be able to unload their feelings.
The generosity that was shown to myself and my family was just overwhelming. The volunteers take that responsibility or that extra time to do all the small things. I knew that one day I had to pay this forward, and it took probably about another 2 years before I thought, today's the day, and phoned and got information on how I could volunteer and get involved again, and I was ready.
I have seen at firsthand what an impact these volunteers have had with these families. The staff are so relieved when they can call on the COHA Vigil volunteers, especially for families who are out of town and they are not able to be here with their loved ones. It gives a peace of mind to the families knowing that these residents are not alone.
After Mom passed, I remember being in the kitchen and life, I still was working myself in my business and thinking, wow, we're supposed to go back to normal now, whatever normal is. And I was feeling so far from normal. If we don't deal with our grief, that it does manifest in other ways. I also knew the power of the group work. All the situations of all the grief that people were going through were so different, yet those feelings were very similar. And it was very, very validating to go through that process.
For myself, it was an 8-week session, as well as the Reiki sessions were 8 weeks. The kids came to see her for an extended period of time. I was diagnosed with cancer and then ended up having major surgery the same year my husband died, so they saw Sean for about 1.5 years, which isn't typical, but it was much appreciated. I don't know what we would have done without the ability to have the kids continue talking to somebody.
Just knowing that COHA is there behind us is huge, They guide you the right way. They're there for you when you need them.
I honestly don't know what it would have been like without Linda. I really don't. It would have been it is a hard journey no matter what, but it would have been much, much harder to not have her in my life.
I'm forever grateful for the experience here, and I thank you again for, and the community for having such a great program.
It's just super important to reach out when you need help, right? And that's exactly what COHA was for us. It was just kind of like a lifeline, I guess.